Hey Snapchat, today I want to talk about how to hire a great marketing person at a startup. It's one of the job searches that most startup companies struggle with, especially as they start to scale. The reason is in the early phases of a startup, you're thinking about quantitative marketing. Some people call that quant. And that involves what people call omni-channel marketing, SEO, SEM, content marketing, Facebook acquisition, inbound telephony. And of course, it involves what people in the industry call growth hacking. And the reality is that's what most 6 to 8 person startup people focus on in marketing. Because most startups are now founded by product people or engineers, they think back office, they think quantitative, they think technical. And growth hacking can be anything from how Airbnb, for example, went into Craigslist and used that as a way to springboard their initial growth. But the problem is, in many early stage startup, there are other skills that also matter in the company. I would call some of those front office skills. The earliest to come up for startups is PR, public relations. The reason PR matters so much is it influences people joining your company. It influences downstream investors. It influences business development partners and even customers. Now, if I contrast startup marketing with traditional marketing, you start with a concept called a brand ambassador, someone who stands for the brand. In classic marketing, we were taught about the 4 Ps: product, pricing, positioning, and placement. Product, of course, you know, that's speccing out what the offering that is going to go to market is. Pricing is something that most tech startups don't spend enough time thinking about, but what is going to be the consumer demand for your product? How much are people willing to pay for it, and what alternatives do they have? Positioning is about figuring out the value of your product relative to either competitors or substitutes in the market. It's about deciding whether or not you're going to be niche and target like wealthy or enterprise accounts, or whether you're going to be mass or targeting cheap accounts. Positioning also includes what age group are you targeting, what demographics are you targeting, what income level are you targeting, what gender are you targeting. And the 4th P, placement, was always about where are you going to sell your product, in which channel. So classic marketers are trained at the 4 Ps, and they're important, and they're very front of office skills. I like to say marketers are really good at 3 Cs: creative, communication, and channels. So the conundrum that I see that most startups go into as they raise more capital and as they get more customers is, should I hire quantitative marketers, people who are more technical and know this kind of customer acquisition model? Or should I hire more traditional brand marketers, maybe people out of Procter & Gamble or Unilever? And many founders get frustrated by the fact that often these groups of people don't have both sets of skills. Some do, not many. My advice is not to hire someone to try and fit all those things into the same box. What you need what I call a raw athlete, someone who's just a great leader and understands the marketing discipline. You want someone who can supervise the quantitative marketer and is numerate enough to add value and question and help what they're working on. You need someone with enough creativity that they can lead either an external agency or your internal creative team. You don't necessarily need a great writer, but you need a lucid thinker that understands the key points you're going to get across in your press. So my recommendation is always go for that raw athlete who's a leader, who can lead programmatic, who can lead brand, comms, and channel marketing.